Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In this video we looked at Richard Hoffman's case against FINRA, the DTCC and Fidelity, and this complaint was focusing on racketeering, security law violations, accounting and also for declaratory relief. So please refer back to the previous video for these very important updates. In today's video we're going to be looking at what's happening in terms of the latest press release from the company. We're also going to be looking at the new personal stories, your personal stories for MMTLP and some other developments as well. So before we make a start, let's have a quick look at what's happening in the market. So headline here from Bloomberg, the stocks have ended the week slightly lower. We've had a tough decision from the Fed, and officials are currently debating the merits of a 25 versus a 50 BP rate hikes, especially with regard to countering the problem of inflation. So the first update is for AST. So shout out here to Adrian Ramirez, who posted a letter from AST to Fidelity and why the transfer of shares from AST to Fidelity was rejected. So let's see what it states here. So in this letter from AST addressed to Fidelity Investments, it states here, we received your transfer request regarding the above referenced account. We cannot transfer the shares for the following reasons. Next Bridge Hydrocarbons Incorporated is not DRS or DWAC eligible. The following documents are being returned to you: letter of instruction and transfer form, and call our shareholder services team for further details. The next update is from Gardner Wade, and he's a person who works at Meta Materials. I believe he's also an investor in MMTLP, and he's just posted after a long time on the topic of MMTLP, and this was in response to a post from FINRA. So what he stated is here is: discipline yourself, FINRA, and give the 2 trading days back to MMTLP. Correct your U3 halt, which was placed with 0 notice, protecting the shorts, and acknowledge that FINRA has assisted the short sellers as an expense of average retail shareholders. Rosa's army is growing until resolved. So a great statement there from Gardner. In terms of our update, in terms of our 7-day action plan, so today we're looking at 17th of February, and complaints today we're going to be focused on IRS. So this is what I released earlier today. So the link, this is a link here for reporting suspected tax fraud activity. So if you know of any company or business, maybe even a hedge fund, that is involved in potential non-payment of tax fraud, then this needs to be reported, and you may also get a reward. The impact on the economy is huge. It's depriving healthcare, education, transport, housing, and many other sectors of much needed finance. Let's now have a look at the Next Bridge Hydrocarbons press release. So this is dated February the 16th, 2023, and the headline here is: Next Bridge Incorporated provides a statement regarding its spin-off. So let's see what they've got to say. So this was also, I believe, emailed to all the investors, and it states here in terms of confirmation, below is a summary in connection with the spin-off on December the 14th from Meta Materials, in terms of addressing certain inquiries from our shareholders. So this seems to be an attempt to answer many of the questions that we have been asking. Let's now have a look at the first bullet point, and it states here: immediately after the spin-off, the company became an independent public reporting company. Common stock is not and will not be publicly traded and will not be eligible for transfer through the DTC or any other system. It goes on to say here, Meta distributed 165.4 million shares of the common stock held on a pro rata basis. And it also states here, the spin-off, the current executive officers of the company do not own any of Meta Series A non-voting preferred stock. And the next one is quite important, that is, there is no public market for our common stock, and there is no current expectation for the public market to develop for the common stock. So they are saying MMTLP as a symbol will not trade. certainly on a public market. The next thing is confirmation of the transfer agent, which I think we already know is AST, American Stock Transfer and Trust Company. And then in the next key section here, we can see details about, first of all, registering the common stock in connection with the spin-off, and obviously confirming that certain filings are needed for that. And then obviously it states here it is going to look at the next filing on or before the March 31st, 2023, so not long to go now for that. The next bullet point I think is quite interesting, because what they've included here is confirmation in terms of what we know what's happening with regard to FINRA, and they've stated here that the officers of the company have no information from FINRA regarding the trading halt, other than the information in the public notices that have been published. So basically the company are saying they are not getting any private correspondence, they're not getting any updates from FINRA. FINRA are not providing, here it states, any advance notice to the company or matter prior to any trading halt. And the final bullet point here is with regard to delivering shareholder value, and what it states here is the company believes our primary means of delivering shareholder value is to develop our interest in the Rio Grande Basin, and we remain focused on this objective. So that basically means no confirmation yet of a buyer, but basically they are still looking at the value of the assets and developing them before a buyer can be found. Now I'd like to do is continue the series with regard to your own personal MMTLP story. So story number one here is a person who's 66, her husband is 65. They got into MMTLP because they saw an opportunity to grow their retirement fund. They're currently still paying a mortgage and are still working. So they're saying here the stock was stopped to trade with no notice. They need their money, it is their money. They sold the same stock over and cheated us out of our right to get into another stock. Our money could be used by making us more money that we need, and they believe that this is basically stolen from them. Have a look at story number two. So this is a person who states around about June 2021, this person lost his mother, and then he looked at MMTLP. He was not an OG investor. MMTLP started trading on the OTC, and this person managed to get in almost exactly a year later, June 2022. He lost his stepfather. So this play currently is very, very personal to this investor. The final story here is an OG torch investor from Shanghai, and he states here he was deprived of a huge amount of equity in the last 2 days of MMTLP, or should we say the last 2 days when it didn't trade. He states here behavior of short sellers has unfairly continued also to affect MMAT. We know that's true as well. And also MMAT investors are also victims and suffering huge potential losses because we know that MMTLP profits may have significantly gone into MMAT. That is no longer happening. Investors have the right to fully exercise their investment rights, and there is no reason for them to be deprived under any circumstances. So powerful words here from investor number three. Finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.